these patents don't, the monopoly doesn't last forever, right? You were saying there's a kind of a time limit on it, and at which point you can have generic versions available. What kind of time frame is that? Is that typically?
So it's 20 years from filing. So the first non-provisional that's filed, excuse me. So that would be like the PCT application. So it doesn't start from the provisional. The provisional is kind of like a free year. You get the first non-provisional or PCT would start that 20-year clock. So if it takes 5 years to issue, you have 15 years of patent life. If issues in 2 years, you have 18 years of patent life. There are some ways that it's like adjusted. If you have a really slow patent examiner, there's ways you can get patent term extension. It's a little bit different depending on country, but like in the US, you can get up to 5 extra years, I believe, if your drug compound that's patented spent a long time in FDA approval. So you can extend your patent monopoly to sort of make up for the time that was lost while you were waiting to get FDA approval. But in general, yeah, it's 20 years. And then as soon as your 20 years is over, whatever it is that was covered by that patent is now in the public domain.
Right. And so, we've obviously been talking about the ways in which these might not be novel, and we mentioned kind of ancient indigenous use being a big part of this. And there seem to be a few interesting things going on at the moment where on the one side you have Compass again, who filed a patent in Mexico for psilocybin, which, given that that's the place that the indigenous use kind of gave it to the rest of the world in modern times, that strikes people as a kind of, ethically dubious thing to do. And then on the other hand, there's this group, Journey Collab, who have developed mescaline therapy for alcoholism. Again, Native American groups have used mescaline-containing cacti successfully to treat alcoholism. So you may kind of see a problem there, but they've actually been including indigenous communities as stakeholders, right, in their model. So do you think there's like a way to kind of engage with this aspect kind of ethically in the space?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I have really been inspired by the work of Journey Collab, and I've really seen the work that they've done as being a really tremendous model for kind of balancing the kind of the ethics of doing business in the psychedelic space and the ethics around getting protection by patents on a compound with the sort of imperatives of kind of having to look to the the source of some of what the inventions are, where they may have came from, and ensuring that there's reciprocity given to that. And I think that the work they're doing is it's an important sort of model, I think, for others. And I mean, I would love to see others follow that, but I think they have. And I mean, part of why I'm excited about sort of ethics in the psychedelic space is because I feel like the overall ethos in the field is such that like there's a real room for people to kind of examine these different types of opportunities and sort of reimagine how they want to do business. And I'm excited as a patent lawyer in the space because it allows me to sort of think outside the box of just filing patents and just seeing them as something that an individual company uses for protecting its kind of own space, and thinking how patents can actually be used in a more supportive or more cooperative way with others. And so I think there's definitely a unique culture in the psychedelic space that sort of demands that these these interests and these different stakeholders be their interests be considered. But that means that there's also a lot of room for kind of creative, innovative thinking that goes beyond just something that's protected by a patent, but even creative, innovative thinking in business models and business kind of dealings too, which is exciting place to be.